Hi everyone, welcome to the second episode of the Talks with Samuela Davidova. That's me. I'm the thinker, writer and doer, and I live individual freedom. And so I decided to create a series of different shorter topics related to the individual freedom, maybe sometimes indirectly. Today I will speak about why you should and how you can diversify your bank accounts. And all these topics are pretty like rethinking. They provide different perspective on your life and on what you live and how you can do things differently in the practical way. And I hope that you like it. Please let me know in the comments. Follow me because these episodes will be out in the end every week. So yeah, I hope that's sufficient to you. It will be out every Monday, so you can also turn on this ring thing and it will let you know once I will have out something new. I also do public speeches, so I will upload the videos here as well, or you can check my my previous videos on the channel. Okay, so why should you diversify your bank accounts? And this, the first topic, is one of my points, very important ones in the Freest project, which is the concept that aims to help people to broaden the opportunities they have in life and their individual freedom. It will go out as a book this year. So you should surely diversify your bank accounts. What does it mean? So that you should have at least opened bank accounts as best in different countries, at least, you know, like having different bank accounts in different banks. Maybe you think why? To me, it's more like a security, it's like a backup, so that in case you never know when the bank collapsed, at least recently, or when there's a civil war. That sounds terrible, you know, but like you can actually really have a war, and in these cases, oftentimes countries are shutting down or very limiting the opportunities for you to withdraw your money. And it's more like a security, at least, so that you can transfer your money once the problem starts. So there's a certain period until the government and banks actually sort of take action. It's good for you so that you at least try to transfer your money. I recommend you not keeping much money in fiat either, but if you're not into cryptocurrencies and if you do not invest, whatever, even if you don't have that much money, you can at least split them among different accounts so that you know that it's like you're fine. Another reason for this is also when you travel, and especially when you travel a lot, so it can happen so that the bank actually perceives your transactions or your payments as fraud and they freeze your account. And it takes time until you unfreeze the account and until you get in touch with the support of the bank and so on. And it's really frustrating when you are abroad without your money. It's really like terrible. Also, what can happen is that you cannot really withdraw money with your card. Like I had some problems with Curve for some reason when I was in Asia now. So despite I don't like Revolut much because they oftentimes block some small payments even, so I try not to use it much, but still I'm using their card, so this is good. I'm also using Bank of Georgia solo account, which is it's like a private premium account at Bank of Georgia. It's a Georgian bank, Georgian as a country, and what is very good, it's one of the how you can actually really diversify your bank accounts. I'm sorry for the washing machine, that's just, I do laundry. I'm a human still. So Georgia is a very good country because for diversifying your bank accounts, because it's a different country than you most likely live in, and you can open the bank account here even without some permanent or temporary residency card. You don't need anything. You just come and you can open the bank account, or we can do it for you with Liberation.Travel. I will link them and list you the email where you can ask for more information about it. So we do actually open bank accounts remotely for our clients, and it's really convenient because we really hate bureaucracy. So we really try to simplify it for the client as much as we can. But yeah, like if you're now based in the Czech or Slovakian Republic, so we can you will have to go and apostolize documents yourself and send them to us, but then we will follow up with the whole process and we will do it. We might just need you to forward us like 3 one-time codes and during the bank opening process, but once we do it, you already have the credentials to the online banking. You can use the bank, you can transfer your money, you will have your details, and then we will send you directly your cards once we have them. So this is really good. Why I mention is that sadly, like, the world is becoming more strict in this. Even the Georgian banks really require now the KYC document. KYC document means, like, it stands for Know Your Customer. So banks are really asking you to provide certain information about you, about your source of income, whether you're employed or not, etc. And it gets annoying, but the trend series around the whole world is not really getting into the right direction. I recommend you opening the bank account earlier than later. I myself also use Wise. I have really good experience with it. The good thing about Georgian bank is that it's more like crypto friendly. They have their own, I live here, so I use it myself, and there's like a big crypto exchange, and you can very flawlessly withdraw your crypto into fiat if you need it. Plus I use Wise because it's very easy for me to, if I need to transfer money somewhere else, especially into Europe. So I use it for this reasoning. I use it as my business account. And beside this, I have an open account at Revolut where I do not leave much money, but like some, I don't know, like, $100, $200. It's pretty flawless as well. But yeah, the more they aim to become the bank, so, and maybe they already became the bank, so the more they became annoying, and they ask for confirming your documents, or my documents at least, like 3 times a year. And I'm like, oh, seriously? So this got a bit annoying. Plus, of course, I recommend you to have some other bank in your country where you live, where you have your permanent residency. If you have a problem with this, so you can use these services. And of course, like, this service or this opportunity is limited to your passport opportunity. So this is really restrictive. Sadly, the banks and the world is judging us based on our passport issuer, which is totally unfair to my ethics and to my beliefs. But sadly, this is how it is. If you're not European, if you're from other countries, I'm sure, or I hope that there are some other opportunities for you, some Revoluts, different alternatives, I would say, but it's not very easy. I know that there are even some banks who are actually aiming to target different markets than the European market, which makes sense as well, because Europe became so bureaucratic, and so it's just so annoying, and it means a lot of costs if you want to enter the market. So many companies just give it up and rather target clients who are outside of Europe. And I think that this will happen even more. So it's good for you if you have the European passport while you actually live abroad. Yeah. However, again, you do not have that many opportunities. For example, if you live in Thailand or so it will be hard for you. and it takes days to get the transfer and so on. So it's really good for you to diversify the bank accounts, to have multiple bank accounts in general. If things happen, you can always just switch to another one. If you travel, you can just use the card of another bank. And yeah, it's like, this is very good, because if you have one account, if you have only one bank, it can happen that yeah, you end up somewhere without money. And it's very frustrating, especially if you know that you have your money. But once I used to have a Czech bank, and because I'm Czech myself and I lived there, and the bank just limited, I had something like 5 withdrawals a day, and I already exceeded it, and I didn't know what happens, and I couldn't contact the support. My mother had to do it, but what was the problem is that I couldn't pay for my bus, you know, and I couldn't get back to my country, and I couldn't even, you know, like pay for my accommodation or so. And it was a very frustrating moment when you are stuck in abroad and you cannot get home. It's crazy, especially, you know, you have your money, but you cannot do anything, and this is terrible. It's like, so it makes you feel like, you know, like you're so dependent actually on these institutions, and as if you wouldn't have ownership of your money. So if you really need to use fiat, please diversify your bank accounts. If you do not need to use fiat, I recommend you to accept cryptocurrencies, because they exactly overcome this problem. You are not dependent on the opening hours of the banks, which I find in the 21st century is something like middle age. And yeah, you have the ownership of your money, but it also comes with responsibility. Actually, having the bank accounts also comes with responsibility, but it's indirect, so that you can say, oh, but it's the fault of the bank. But this is actually the only thing that is the benefit, so that you can say that someone else is responsible, but that's where it ends. So again, please diversify. Diversification for life, honestly, this is what I aim for, because it means it's a lot about interdependency. But I think that it would be a topic for another time. Okay, thank you for listening to me, for joining me today, and I see you next week. If you were curious about some other topics, please let me know in the comments, and hi from Georgia. Cheers.